Alright, thank you all so much for being here. Welcome to the Delta Alpha Pi induction ceremony, as well as the 2 Thumbs Up award ceremony. My name is Ian Jesse. This is Megan Lamb over here. We are graduate assistants in the Office of Student Disability Services, and we help advise the Delta Alpha Pi Honor Society as well. So welcome to all of our guests. We have Delta Alpha Pi inductees. We have faculty and staff who are winning the 2 Thumbs Up award, as well as other faculty and staff here for support. So we really appreciate all of you being here. There will be a few different things happening tonight. First, we are really excited to have the chance to hear from USC's Chief Diversity Officer, Dr. John Dozier. After that, we will induct the new members to the Delta Alpha Pi Honor Society. And then following that, we will conclude with the distribution of the 2 Thumbs Up awards. So to introduce our guest speaker, if Dr. Karen Pettis could please come forward. I'm sorry, as you get to the back of the room. But thank you again for being here,
everyone. It's my pleasure to welcome you all to our induction ceremony and our presentation of the 2 Thumbs Up award. This ceremony started many, many years ago with one of our graduate assistants in the office who wanted to give students and an opportunity to say thank you to faculty and staff, and now it's grown to this large group, and so we're so glad to see you all here. And a lot of people don't realize a lot of times that disability is a part of diversity. And so when John Dozier came as the diversity officer, we were very excited, and we've been able to work with John very closely this past year and sort of addressing some of the issues and concerns that students have. So when we were looking for a speaker this year, it was just, that was the first choice, and he was glad to come. So John, we appreciate it. I'm going to turn the floor over to you now.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I will tell you, the timing couldn't be more ripe, I guess, to have conversations about diversity and inclusion. And I will tell you that I've kind of struggled about today a bit because I have so much on my mind about our environment and how every one of us, as members of this Carolina community, fit how we feel about this environment. And obviously, the events that took place last week took a toll on us. It kind of tore the fabric of our community, and we're looking to find ways that we now mend that fabric in ways that the new fabric will be much stronger. But I found this one quote that I thought was rather interesting. When you hear the word disabled, people immediately think about people who can't walk or talk or do everything that people take for granted. Now, I take nothing for granted, but I find the real disability is people who can't find joy in life and are bitter. It's a quote from Terry Garr. By that measure, by that standard, there are probably a lot of really disabled people in the world. But I mentioned this in part because this also speaks to some of the challenges that we're facing. How you define yourself is important to you. Whether that's based on physical characteristics, whether that's based on your values and beliefs, how you define yourself is important to you. It should be equally important to the university, and it is equally important to the university. But it should be equally important to every member of this university community. And we don't take that for granted, right? How you identify yourself, again, is important. But equally important is how you express yourself and the choices that you make with your identity. The choices that you make to get involved in organizations, to get engaged, to dive in to this big university. And that's what makes the University of South Carolina a really special place. I'm going to talk a little bit about my role as Chief Diversity Officer because I've not had an opportunity to meet many of you. I'm very excited about being here. But this role is a new role to the university, but one that's important in the sense that it is my responsibility, although I feel less and less out of control of it being my accountability, part of my accountability, but it is my responsibility to make sure that we're creating an environment here at the university where every individual feels like their contributions and that they themselves are valued, that that not only are their contributions valued, but that they feel like they are woven into this fabric called community here at the University of South Carolina. And a very fortunate thing for this role for me has been that the university is already doing some wonderful things. I take, for example, what you have been doing with the Two Thumbs Up Award in this fraternity existing. It speaks to some of the wonderful things that we do as an institution, yet one of the things that I get to take advantage of is being able to talk about those things. So here recently we created a website for diversity and inclusion. I certainly would appreciate you going and taking a look. I will be adding Delta Alpha Pi to my list of resources because I didn't know about you much until I ran across or was invited to speak. But we talk about all of the resources that are available to our community on that website, and so again, we encourage you to go there. I don't want to take up a lot of time because I know that tonight can possibly be a very long night as we're recognizing a lot of people here. But I want to thank you. I want to thank you for trusting the university with your education. I want to thank all of you who are receiving Two Thumbs Up awards because it means that you are committed to making sure that every person in our university community feels valued, that they have conditions that allow them to make sure that they feel included, and that means a lot. And it doesn't take a lot, right? It doesn't take big things to do that. Sometimes it's the small actions. And so I hope that we're also reminded that it's the small actions that we take every single day that help people to recognize, again, our value, and also helps other people to feel like they're committed and that they are a part of this university community. So thank you very much for allowing me to speak. Thank you for the work that you do every day, and thank you to those students who are becoming members of Delta Alpha Pi. And I hope that you, with your membership, that you reach out, spread, evangelize for every member of our university community, and make sure that we're doing as best we can to make sure that we're all engaged. So thank you again.
Thank you for coming here with us today and for sharing your thoughtful words. We're excited to have you here at the Carolina community, and we look forward to seeing the great things that you facilitate here at USC. I would now like to invite Clayton Boggs, the Delta Alpha Pi president, to come and speak.
Good evening, and I'd just like to thank you all again for coming. I really appreciate it so much. This year, I have had the pleasure of serving Delta Alpha Pi as the president of this chapter here at the University of South Carolina. And for those of you who might not be familiar with our organization, I'd just like to tell you a little bit about it. Delta Alpha Pi is an academic honors organization for students with disabilities in colleges and universities across the country. We seek to combat the stigma associated with disabilities by recognizing the academic achievements of members while helping them to develop valuable leadership and advocacy skills. Founded in 2004, Delta Alpha Pi is still a relatively new organization. The Pi chapter, our chapter, was established just 7 years ago in the spring of 2008. Since then, Delta Alpha Pi has remained a somewhat small organization, and just last year, at one point, we only had one active member. However, Over the last year, I've had the pleasure of meeting many new students who are truly passionate about academics, advocacy, and service to this community. While next year will be my last at the University of South Carolina, I am confident that we are building a great organization that is strong and dynamic and will continue to do great things in the years to come for this university. With that in mind, it is my pleasure to welcome our new members to the Pi chapter of Delta Alpha Pi. Would the applicants for active membership in Delta Alpha Pi please come forward when your name is called? John, Austin, Ashley, and Nikita. Please respond in unison to each statement in the pledge with the words "I do" when you are prompted. In keeping with the Delta values of our honor society, do you promise that you will demonstrate strength as a leader, breaking down the barriers of negativism by promoting the value of each individual person and by building bridges? Do you promise to be a mentor and role model? In keeping with our Alpha value, do you promise to continue your pursuit of academic excellence? Do you promise to advocate for yourself and for others with disabilities and to build awareness of issues related to persons with disabilities? In keeping with our Pi value, do you promise to take pride in your accomplishments and the accomplishments of your sisters and brothers in this honor society? Do you promise to demonstrate by the way you set goals and live your life, not to accept limits that others might want to impose on you and on others with disabilities? Do you pledge to be an active participant in the life of Delta Alpha Pi Honor Society through its organizational, educational, outreach, and social programs? Please repeat after me. I join with my sisters and brothers in a belief that there are many obstacles in life. But there is great joy in overcoming them. Let our light shine forth. In the name of the Pi chapter of Delta Alpha Pi at the University of South Carolina, I welcome our newest members. Please remain standing as we distribute the signs of your new status and welcome you personally.
William Austin Smith. John Faubert. Nikita Yusin. And Ashley Kimbrough.
Each member has received his or her certificate of membership, a copy of the Constitution of the Society, the membership ribbon, a candle, and a pen. The candle is unlit in the ceremony as a reminder that our real light shines from within us. The unlit candle is a reminder that we are not as we appear. We are more. The unlit candle reminds our members of their duty to let their light shine forth each day from within. One of our new members, John Faubert, is graduating this semester, so we will now give him his Delta Alpha Pi honor cords to wear at graduation. Congratulations. At this time, we would like our new associate members to come forward.
Brittany, Anna, and Becca.
associate members are full members in Delta Alpha Pi with the exception of being able to hold an officer position. And our new Delta Alpha Pi associate members are Anna Holly, Brittany Denault, and Becca Purcell. We would also like to make Dr. John Dozier an honorary member of Delta Alpha Pi. Let us welcome Dr. Dozier and the new members of the new class of Delta Alpha Pi Pi Chapter.
All right, congratulations, everyone. All right, so congratulations, everyone. These students have all worked very hard to be a member in this honor society. It's not easy to be a member, so great job, congratulations. Thank you all for being here. So we're gonna take a little turn now, and now we're gonna honor the faculty and staff members who have helped students with disabilities be successful on this campus. So each year, students are given the opportunity to nominate faculty and staff members who have made a difference in their experience at the University of South Carolina for the Two Thumbs Up Award. The Office of Student Disability Services would like to thank those of you who have gone above and beyond for these students. This year, members of our office and some of our campus partners also nominated faculty and staff that they believe deserve the Two Thumbs Up Award. So I would like to ask the Director for Center for Teaching Excellence, Dr. Christy Friend, to come forward and say a few words about the faculty and staff members that she nominated for the award. Dr. Friend.
Hello, everybody. As he said, I'm Christy Friend. I direct the Center for Teaching Excellence here on campus. And each year, it is the absolute pleasure of the staff members on my team to work with faculty from all over campus who have a tremendous commitment to their teaching and a real commitment to the learning environment for their students. Over the past couple of years, one of our big initiatives has been to help and support faculty who are interested in moving their online and hybrid courses towards higher levels of full accessibility for all students. And we've had a number of faculty who've worked with us in this capacity over the years. And so this year we are really, really excited to nominate a few people, not everybody in here, but a few who we felt have gone really above and beyond in this area. For many of these faculty members, making a course accessible involves all kinds of things that they never thought they'd be doing, learning new kinds of software, spending hours on the weekends transcribing their lectures, creating little texts on their pictures, all things that take a lot of time, but in the end contribute greatly to the learning experience of all their students. And so we're really proud to see them recognized tonight. When I was thinking about these faculty and the instructional designers who we've nominated for the award, and it was a nomination from my whole team, not just from me, I was thinking about an old Chinese proverb that says, don't be afraid if you have to take small steps, just be afraid if you're standing still. And I know that working on these courses has at times seemed like a lot of teeny tiny steps to these faculty members, but in the end their contributions are going to affect many, many students on campus and are going to affect the learning landscape of our campus for many, many years to come. And so we want to recognize their contributions. We're really proud to have them here, and we thank them for being such great representatives and advocates of the university. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Friend. This year we had a few students who nominated faculty and staff members who volunteered to come here and talk about those faculty and staff members a little bit that they nominated. I'll call you up one at a time, and I'm going to try to do this in an order that makes sense. So if Bonnie Bart could come forward first. Thank you.
I'm Bonnie Barty, and I would like to acknowledge Dr. Adkins in the nursing department for helping me as a new student registered with Student Disability Services for medical reasons. She's gone out of her way to be encouraging, supporting, and understanding, and I don't think I could do it without her support.
So next I will call George Fleming. Please come forward.
So I got an email from Office of Student Disability Services asking me to consider who had made a special impact on my career as an undergraduate student, especially with regards to disabilities. And I came up with 3 professors in the Marine Science Department who've gone above and beyond on my behalf, 2 of which are here today, one of who is out of town. But I'll talk about each of them for a little bit. First, I'd like to thank Dr. Ellis. I first met Dr. Ellis when I was a senior in high school, actually. I was, a geography major, and I heard about this thing called marine science. And so I kind of knocked on her office door and probably interrupted something she was doing. But she talked to me for over an hour about the program and was really welcoming. And she's since become my mentor as well as my academic advisor. And if you had told me that something like a mentor could exist at such a big university, before I met Dr. Ellis, I thought you would have been crazy. But she has been a great mentor to me, and she's really helped me connect with opportunities that I can do. So I am limited in some of the research opportunities I can pursue with my physical limitations, but she's always very considerate about those. And she's just gone above and beyond in helping me connect with me with opportunities that I can still accomplish well. And Dr. Tammy is also here. I took her 102 class during my freshman year. And I don't know if you know this, but I do have autism, and so connecting with other students especially is a difficulty. But I think in your class I first met a lot of the students into the marine science program. And I think in some ways your personality during class was really infectious. She's a very wonderful, lovely personality. But and the research trip that we took, I thought was amazing because I'd never been on a boat before and hadn't really done much field work besides that. So I was able to do that with Daisy.
She was a trooper too.
It was a cold day, but I still loved the opportunity to do research, and that was something that I thought that I would have a lot more troubles with. But it was great to work with you with that regard and help me be successful there. And finally, I'd like to thank Dr. Claudia, who's not here today. Dr. Claudia helped me a lot in revising a scholarship essay. And in that scholarship essay, I talked about my disabilities, which is something I'd never done in a professional setting. So she helped me to really find ways to express how my disabilities provided a unique perspective and transformed, I guess, in writing my disabilities not as something that could be negative, but as something that could have benefits that make me different from other applicants. And so I'd like to thank these 3 professors so much for all they've done for me, especially helping me as a student with disabilities. Thank you.
Thank you, Jordy, for being here, and thank you to all the professors that you nominated. We have one more student. If Mr. Bob Berg could please come forward. I'm sorry, I know you're sitting right in the middle of the room.
You don't have to move, I could have gotten it. Thank you, and good evening. If I'd known I was going to be speaking to such a handsome and good-looking group tonight, I would have probably maybe shaved and dressed more appropriately. Since I've been at the university, which has been about 3.5 years, I've learned to dress down. That's all the style here. In any event, let me just say that you're wondering, you're thinking probably I look older than the average student. You know what I say when people say that to me? I say, you're right, I am much older. I came to this university at my advanced age because I was an 11th grade dropout in high school. Went in the Air Force for 4 years. I got out of the Air Force and I went into business where my family had a business in South Carolina where I worked for 40 years. And then we sold the business and I was sort of at loose ends. I didn't have anything to do. So I wrote about university one day and I said, I've always thought maybe I'd go to school. In fact, I don't know how much time I got tonight, probably not much time left. I'll tell you one little quick thing. When I was in business, I had a controller once, his name was Charlie Brooks, and he worked for me. And in 1973, he said, he kept bothering me. He said, Bob, you got to go to school, you got to go to school, you got to go to school. He goes, on me, on me, on me. So I said, one day, I signed up and I said, Charlie, you're going to get your wish, I'm going to university. So I came from university. It was a summer class. I took Math 101, which they don't even offer here anymore. This was 1973. And I struggled with it, and I finally got through it, but it was not much fun, and that was my experience. But 3.5 years ago, I decided I would give it another shot. So I came and registered and found, much to my surprise, that being an advanced aged person, I wouldn't have to pay any tuition, which is a great thing. I know that nobody would think I look to be over 60, but I am over 60. In fact, the little girl at the office where I signed up said to me, Mr. Byrd, are you over 60? And I laughed at her and I said, I was over 60 when you were still in diapers. Anyway, you're not here to hear me talk about myself, but I want to tell you one thing about a particular person that helped me a lot. When I first registered and signed up and started taking courses, one of the first courses that I took, because a friend of mine who's a very smart guy and a doctor said, oh, Bob, you've got to take logic. So I took logic. Well, I hated logic. Logic was not logical to me, and it was really beyond me, I thought, to comprehend. So I just struggled with it, and school wasn't fun. And I had been through enough in my life, at times it wasn't fun, that I didn't want to go somewhere because I wanted to be there and have it not be fun. So I went and talked to my professor, a young woman by the name of Michelle Panchuk. She's a doctoral student. And I said to her, Michelle, I'm going to have to drop out of this class because I just can't get it, and it's just not fun, and it's just, I don't like it, and I don't want to worry with it, and so forth and so on. So she took the time to take me to her office. She sat me down, and she explained to me how, if I did what she told me to do, that I could negotiate this course and get out of it with a passing grade. And I did. And I got out of it with a C. It was not a great grade, but I was thrilled to have it. So Michelle can't be here tonight because I think she's got a class, but if she was here, I would just like to say, Michelle, thank you very much for saving my scholastic life.
Being here. All right, so at this time, I would like to ask Dr. Pettis to come back forward. She will read the names of this year's winners of the 2 Thumbs Up Award. Please come forward to receive your award when your name is called. And we would also like to ask the Associate Vice President for Student Affairs and Academic Support, Dr. Jane Luna, to come forward to help with the distribution of the awards.
And it seems like every year I have to start this by saying, if I butcher your name, I am so sorry. I practiced, I have, but some days I just don't do real well. Ellen Adkins. Joy told us Claudia Benitez Nelson could not be here today. Pia Bertucci. Will Cipolli. Bradford Collins. Danielle Coriel. Anna Cueto. Tessa Davis. G. Ellis. Charles Finiciero. Leslie Hendricks. And I just want to say that Leslie was nominated twice by two different people. Don Jordan. Joseph Left. Thomas Leakin. Patty Marinelli. Benjamin Moore. Harriet Nichols. Joseph Ulmert. Michelle Pancha. Amanda Paulson. Tammy Richardson.
And that scholarship Jory mentioned, he got it, and it's a big one.
Linda Rodriguez. And Linda works at the Aiken campus. Todd Spalding. Joanne Thompson. Rich White. Courtney Worsham. Rico Baxter. Mary Boyd. Nelson Brown. Nate Brown. Clayton Copeland. Christy DeGregory. Karen Edwards. Lydia Frass. Hayes Hampton. Tiffany Harden. Woody Holton. Janet Hudson. Simon McKenzie. David Miller. Heather Moorfield Lang. Nelson Newville. Natalie Rooney. And unfortunately, Natalie couldn't be here tonight. Natalie was a graduate student who now is fully employed at the University of Oregon. So we'll send her a copy of the tape. Dwayne Sandlin. Hayden Smith. Anita Thatch. Kim Turner. Kelly White. Nani Williams.
So please join me in giving all of these individuals a big round of applause. For being here. We really appreciate that. Thanks for everyone thanks everyone once again for being here. You're all very deserving of this award, and thank you again to all of our Delta Alpha Pi members for being here. You worked hard and you've earned it. Thank you for being here. We hope you stay very involved in the organization for the next few years. And if Dr. Pettis would make our closing remarks, I know everybody's been looking at the food.
I'm always the one who stands between eating and whatever, so I'll make it quick. We couldn't do what we do in disability services without the help and the support of the faculty. And so we thank you very much, faculty and staff, for all you do to work with students and to make their experiences in the classroom so helpful. I want to thank my staff in disability services who put this all together because they did a fantastic job. So thank you, Ian and Megan, for doing that. Yeah.
I also want to recognize Miss Cindy Amick for being here. She has been the president of Delta Alpha Pi. She was the president of Delta Alpha Pi for the last 3 years, I believe. So she had been in charge of planning this, so hopefully she's enjoying being able to sit and watch and not to worry about doing all that. But thank you for being here, Cindy.
Thanks, Ian. I appreciate that. So this concludes our ceremony. I hope you all will stay and take a chance, an opportunity to know each other, and please have some of these delicious sandwiches from the 5 Sandwich Shop because they are wonderful. And we'll see you guys next year. Thank you so much.